Different. I'm not gonna eat the beans just by themselves because it's just beans. I'm gonna put the beans on the toast. Beans on toast. The bread is definitely stale. The tomatoes kind of taste like they were based in ketchup, and a very like sweet ketchup too. It's very mushy. In my opinion, there's no flavor other than like I said, a sweet ketchup. No salt, no seasoning. In my opinion, this is extremely low. 1 out of 10.
People from the UK, you had one chance to step up and prove that your food was an absolute trash, and y'all let Keith Lee go to London and eat their brickle-bracco and fizzy wickets, my mother's brickle-bracco fizzy wickets, and the gravy, gravy. Keith Lee is in London right now, and his review of English breakfast food just...
Hey fam, Gracie here once again. Welcome back to the channel. I am hoping that from wherever you my people are watching this from, you're doing alright and God has protected you and preserved you very well. And to you that continuously give support to me on here, I do appreciate you. To my members, shout out to you. You do me amazing. And as always, we are back with another interesting episode. In today's, we are going to look at lots of Brits people having a crash down because Keith Lee, the Black American guy that normally, do food reviews, went on a food tour in the UK. And so far with just one breakfast of, beans, and where he's already literally causing them to, they are in the comment section. I've compiled quite a few videos in here for us to look at, and you see what his reviews are, because he's saying they don't know how to see, like the food tastes like nothing, right? We are going to look at these videos together. Don't forget to subscribe if you're landing on the channel for your very first time.
Me and my family are officially in London, and it's 10 o'clock in the morning, so the first thing we have is breakfast. I got it. Let's try it. Rated 1 through 10. We didn't spend anything because this is from the hotel. On top of being here for the food tour, we actually got invited by Netflix to come and watch behind the scenes of Bridgerton. So the first couple of days isn't technically food tour, but I'm gonna try and sneak in just what we eat. So under here is a full English breakfast. At first glance, to me, it looks like a normal breakfast, but the longer you look at it, the more things that I don't recognize start becoming apparent. So we got eggs, hash browns, sausage, a mushroom, bacon, beans, tomatoes, and black pudding or blood sausage. Then we got a bakery basket, Danish croissant, toast, orange juice, whole grain mustard, brown sauce, mayonnaise, and another brown sauce. Start with the eggs. It's like a soft scrambled egg. I love a soft scrambled egg. It's salted well. It's an egg. It's cooked very well in my opinion too. 6 out of 10. Hash brown. Very reminiscent to McDonald's hash brown, even though it's a lot greasier and a lot less salty. 4 out of 10. It is very crispy and there's a lot of potato on the inside, but it's very greasy. Bacon. It's very thick cut hickory smoked. What do you rate bacon? 7 out of 10. It's bacon. Now just those 3 items I can eat and it don't feel like I'm not at home. But this is where it start getting different. I'm not gonna eat the beans just by themselves because it's just beans. I'm gonna put the beans on the toast. Beans on toast. The bread is definitely stale. The tomatoes kind of taste like they were based in ketchup, and a very like sweet ketchup too. It's very mushy. In my opinion, there's no flavor other than like I said, a sweet ketchup. No salt, no seasoning. In my opinion, this is extremely low. 1 out of 10. A mushroom. And as a mushroom lover, I'm not really sure if this is what it's supposed to look like, or I'm just not familiar with what type of mushroom this is. I normally wouldn't just bite into a mushroom by itself, so just to give a fair shake, I'm gonna eat it like with some combinations of other things. Some eggs, a little bite of hash brown, a little bacon. Just to be fair, this is what I would do at home, not a mushroom. It's just a mushroom. It don't feel like they did anything to it. It's just a mushroom. I'm not gonna rate it. Sausage. It tastes like a pork sausage. It don't really taste like anything but pork to me. I was expecting like sage or some kind of herb because there are like speckles of herbs in here. But to me, I don't really taste anything but just pork. And I'm not a huge fan. 4 out of 10. Last but not least, the black pudding or blood sausage. According to Google, this typically contains blood, fat, cereal, and seasonings. I'm gonna go completely non-biased, and I know this is something different. This is something new. I'm gonna just try it. Open-minded. Immediately tastes like blood. It tastes like iron. I've had liver and things that taste like iron, so it wasn't the iron taste that kind of threw me off. The chunks of other things is extremely unsettling for me. I fully understand that's a thing that people enjoy, and it's an acquired taste, or it could be an acquired taste. I haven't acquired that taste by any means. I could be completely wrong, but I feel like this is kind of the equivalent to chitlins. Like how some people in some cultures really enjoy chitlins, and you can go to somebody's house in the South and they're gonna tear some chitlins up. But not everybody in America eat chitlins. I feel like this could be that. I feel like not everybody in England might eat that, but the people who do eat it really enjoy it. But for me, it's a 0 out of 10. I'm not gonna let this be my first impression of English food because again, it's hotel food. I'm still extremely optimistic of what this food tour holds, and I can't wait. God bless you, have an amazing day, y'all be safe. Today is the official start of the food tour, and we're here at Terry's in London, England, and we got a full English breakfast. When I say this is the first day of the tour, it's because we was here with Netflix and Bridgerton. So the first couple of days, we were not able to go to mom and pop shop or local staples of the community. But from now on, that's all we're going to. I got it. Let's try it. You ready to 1 to 10? This plate in front of us was 14 pounds. The customer service so far has been absolutely amazing. They closed at 3 o'clock, but they stopped serving food at 2:30. We didn't know that. We got here at 2:20. They said normally they'll be closed, but they sat us anyway. It's pretty loud in here, so I'm trying to speak up.
Egg fries in the pan, bacon and sausage, and black pudding in the grill. And then you've got tomatoes, they're just on the grill, yeah. Beans, and then this one is bubble and sweet. This is mashed potato with cabbage. You boil potatoes and cabbage, and then you put it together, mix it, and then we put it on the grill.
Bubble and Squeak is the name of it?
The name of it is bubble and squeak.
Beans. Much better than what I've had before. It's still very sweet. It's not as tomato-y and ketchup-y, but it's just a bean and a sweet sauce. It's not bad. It's right in the middle. 5 out of 10. Sausage. Boom. Hot. A lot of flavor. Very sagey, very herby. It's cooked really well, so it's a good snap on it. That's pretty good. 6 out of 10. Bacon. Everything is charred well, it's fresh, it's salty. Also, 6.5 out of 10.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Like Canadian bacon,
Yeah,
like a ham.
that bacon good. The egg. They just fried the egg, they didn't do anything to it. Mushroom. Cooked mushroom, nothing on it. Bubble and Squeak. Doesn't taste like anything to me. Potatoes and cabbage. That and the mushrooms are hard to rate for me because it's just ingredients almost. This is vinegar with the hash brown. Very reminiscent to McDonald's hash browns. This was much more seasoned, much more crispy, much more flavorful. In my opinion, 6 out of 10. Last but not least, the blood sausage or the black pudding. It definitely doesn't taste like blood or iron as much as the last one did. I can see why they call it pudding because it is a very soft, mushy almost texture, as if it was blended up. The flavor is extremely mild though. It's not terrible. It's not something I would personally just eat, but 4 out of 10. Overall, I fully understand why y'all said come here instead of doing a hotel. Definitely in my opinion, some salt, some pepper, onion powder, Tony Chachere's, hot sauce, and then we in a different conversation. Apparently the owner saw us sitting here because they was looking through the cameras and they sent in 2 desserts. It's crazy. This is a jam sponge. It's a Victorian sponge cake with a jam and sitting in the custard.
Yeah, I think custard is not as, you know, like pudding is a little bit more like congealed.
Yeah.
It's more like a.
I'm about to fall out.
Yeah, shit. Alright. That's alright. Yeah. The jam is extremely fresh. It literally tastes like they made it in the back. The sponge cake is very buttery. It's not sweet at all. This kind of tastes like something out of a Disney film. Like an old school classic Disney film.
I can see that even Minnesota, Disneyland.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This definitely give me like theme park vibes. Yeah, this is delicious. This is the highest thing. 7 out of 10.
That is pretty high for like a
Because it's not sweet. It's not sweet at all. If you even look at the inside, it's super moist. Yeah, that's delicious. And before the comments come, we did try to go to a Caribbean-inspired full English breakfast, but they were closed. We attempted to go to breakfast on Brixton, but they were closed.
Chicken sausages, turkey bacon, plantain, ackee and saltfish, hash browns, and French toast.
But as always, after this, I pray and hope that they continue to reach their target audience. God bless you. Have an amazing day. Y'all be safe.
I've just seen that video of Keith Lee. If you don't know who Keith Lee is, he's a giant food reviewer on here. Millions and millions of followers. And he's in London. And I just saw him reviewing beans on toast. What the fuck are we doing here? Why are we reviewing beans on toast? If you can't look at beans on toast and have a good idea of what that tastes like, you don't deserve to own a phone. Alright, and God, the state of them eating them, you would have thought it was dog shit on a cracker. I just fucking eat them. I thought Ant and Dec were going to jump out and be like, if you eat the beans on toast, Keith, you get 9 stars for cum. Like, fucking, how did we get here? Of course, Americans are stitching the video and be like, I told y'all, food in the UK was our fault. Mate, it's fucking beans on toast. What are we doing here? Not every meal has to taste like Sweet Mama Riri's fucking hot pickled buffalo asshole McNuggets, alright? Sometimes you just want a quick wee struggle meal before you head out. It doesn't put you in a coma for 3 weeks. And it pisses me off that he brings God into everything as well. Gah, takes a bite out of an onion ring, he's like, God, it's amazing. That's who's in charge of your food, is it? In between answering the prayers of the needy, the sick and the dying, the Father, Son and Holy Ghost has got time to knock you up a basket of fucking sweet potato fries, does he? Get a grip.
Keith Lee go to London and eat their brickle-brackle and fizzy wickets.
Yeah, good one, G. Let me actually break this shit down so you understand it. English breakfast, not British breakfast, not United Kingdom breakfast, English breakfast. That's one. 2, the guy decided to do a food review in a hotel. Who on God's green earth would do that? Also add the fact that beans and toast is a struggle meal. It was not made for luxury. It should not be compared to a Wagyu steak. And shout out to Keith Lee, but this is the same guy who said Paris was part of the UK. Now I'm gonna be real with you. You have to go to a cafe or a restaurant for an English breakfast. You don't go to a hotel for food, unless it's Gordon Ramsay is there, respectfully. But what satisfaction do you get from hearing on the UK? Does it pay your bills? Does it give you job opportunities? Cause you man need to pop it the fuck out. On top of that, you keep talking about beans on toast. Like you don't have biscuits and gravy. Like, oh my God. Talk about hypocritical. Another thing I could tell you guys is that one man's meat is another man's poison. You have to stop holding this guy up like he's the next coming of Jesus. Because although he does help businesses out, he is not qualified to talk about food and palates whatsoever.
Yo, Keith Lee. If you guys aren't aware, Keith Lee is currently in London and he's trying British food. It's over. It's over. And some of you are really raised on beans and toast. Coming to the UK is one of the worst mistakes you could ever make. Especially if you're coming here to try food. What food is there to try? What do you want to try? I hate to be the one to say it, but like, British people don't even wash their chicken, bro. And UK foods are such an abomination, bro, that the only restaurant that this guy gave a positive review on has been a Jamaican restaurant. This guy ordered jerk chicken with some Jamaican burrito, fam. I can't wait for this guy to try chicken from a chicken shop. Matter of fact, I want him to try Pepe's. Some of you guys were raised on this. And this guy gives critical reviews. He's not even chatting shit. He's been all over the world trying food, being genuine about it. And I can't wait for him to crush your last dream on about your chicken fillet burgers tasting like shit. I can't wait for Keith Lee to try Sunday roast dinner, bro. Nah! This guy might not come out of here alive. Hey, at least he's never going to come back to the UK. At least he experienced it.
I'm going to put my 2 cents into Keith Lee reviewing the UK food because I've enjoyed it. I found it funny, but Americans, we need to let you guys know that you are not qualified to judge UK food or European food or food from the rest of the world. And it might be like, why am I saying that? It's because you guys have never had proper food in your life. You guys are lab rats for the rest of the world. You guys are experiments. The food that you have in your country wouldn't be able to touch our lands at all. That's how much poison is in your food. It's banned. We won't eat it. Trump talks about all the tariffs and stuff and that we don't have this, we don't eat your stuff. It's because it tastes like dog shit. It's because it's poison. It's because it's for aliens. It's not for human consumption. And I say this with kindness because it's not your fault that you eat poison. That's your government's fault. But listen, when Keith Lee tries a pork sausage and he says it tastes like pork so it doesn't taste good, what is a pork sausage supposed to taste like? It's a pork sausage. When he has beans on toast and it tastes like beans on toast, it's because it's beans on toast. You don't need to add all this extra shit because sometimes the food speaks for itself. But the problem is, if your food speaks, it will speak an alien language. It wouldn't make no sense because it's poison. You guys have mystery foods. Your chickens don't taste like chicken, and that's why you need to add chicken seasoning to chicken. Your steaks don't taste like steaks. You add steak seasoning to it. It's a steak. It should already taste like a steak. But anyway, I digress. I hope he enjoys our food. He won't. He won't enjoy most food unless it's got loads of salt, loads of just... It will just taste different. I've been to America and I thought your food tastes like dog shit. And that wasn't because necessarily it all tasted bad. It was just weird. Do you know what I mean? Different palates. I'm used to real food. I can have a piece of bacon and it tastes like bacon. It don't need to taste like honey, syrup and all that shit. It can just taste like bacon because it came from a pig. And the pig should taste like pork and bacon. Do you know what I mean? But I digress. Guys, look, enjoy the reviews, but don't take it seriously. They are not qualified to review our food. But I could be wrong. Anyway, it's just my opinion.
As suspected, the Brickle Brackle Brigade is not happy with Keith Lee in the UK. Child, when I tell you my timeline is sizzling with the Brickle Brackles. We're gonna start with this video first because I was like, am I on the wrong side of TikTok? Because who is this man and what is he talking about?
I'm reviewing beans on toast. What the fuck are we doing here? Why are we reviewing beans on toast? If you can't look at beans on toast and have a good idea of what that tastes like, you don't deserve to own a phone.
It's beans on toast. If I ever did order it, I'm just trying to figure out why the two met each other. But he continues.
Of course, Americans are stitching the video, but like, I told y'all, food in the UK was our fault. Mate, it's fucking beans on toast. What are we doing here? Not every meal has to taste like Sweet Mama Riri's fucking hot pickled buffalo asshole McNuggets, alright? Sometimes you just want a quick wee struggle meal before you head out. It doesn't put you in a coma for 3 weeks.
This failed comedian's jokes aren't the only opinions that came from the loo. This video ended up popping up on my FYP, and let's listen in on what she had to say.
Americans, on the whole, aren't people who like food. They like the idea of food. They like the concept of food. They like the fullness that food gives them. But they don't actually like food. Through no fault of their own, mainly just due to the government's lack of funding and any sort of high quality and quality assurance of food. The fact that they let any random preservative and E-number and any dega pesticide, herbicide, everything in their food, pumping it full of who knows what. I'm not saying the UK doesn't have a problem, but Americans so lax with their laws, right? So it's no fault of the American people. But I think because for decades and decades and decades and decades, they haven't had just baseline, fresh, organic, like good quality food. They've had to oversalt, overseason, over-preserve everything to the degree that they can't actually taste the base ingredient anymore.
Now, in her statements, she does state that U.S. engages in over-preserving and over-salting our foods. Well, that's because the United States didn't want to engage in the bubonic plague. But she does continue.
I cook West Indian food myself. I know about seasonings. But what everyone else in, let's just use the developed world as an example, understands is that sometimes the freshness of the food can carry a dish. Even in the Caribbean, where people like to season their food. If you have, say, fresh fish, you do a little salt, a little lemon juice, a little seasoning, a little herb. But you let the freshness and the flavour of the fish carry the meal. And you know, my fellow Brits, you just have to breathe in, breathe out. At the end of the day, is Keith Lee the arbiter of all things great British food? And a message to Americans, right? You can pry beans on toast, bangers and mash, a fry-up, Sunday roast, shepherd's pie, cottage pie, apple crumble out of my cold, dead, rigor mortis set hands. You will never be able to shame me for it. I will always love it.
Yeah, it was her swinging them Sinhalese twists behind that ear to let me know everything I needed to know about British opinion.
We all know that Keith Lee is in the UK right now, and I had a phone call to the Red Caps yesterday, and apparently he has visited the Spud Bros Express. I told the guy to make him a garlic chili chicken, cheese, beans, tram sauce and crispy onions, and obviously the cheese, beans and tuna. The only thing is, I don't know if he's liked it or not. We know he's done a video. We are waiting for that video. We are so excited to see that. I'm checking every day on his account to see where it is. Everyone is tagging us right now to say, you need to go try Spud Bros. I'm just letting you know, he has tried it. We're waiting for the video. Does the cheese, bees and tuna get the American approval? And there's only one man for this, which is Keith Lee. Fingers crossed.
Now that the Americans are gone, I can eat my beans on toast in peace, yeah? In peace, babe. Nobody's saying what a weird combo. Nobody's saying what's the recipe, yeah?
What? We're back. We're back. You know, throughout this whole series, I had never seen Black British people online eat actual British food. And then the second TikTok is banned in America, you come online and you do this. No, your beans and toast are not safe. And British food is top 3 worst cuisines in the world. I will die on that hill.
This is what we've got, right? Pudding. Bang. Where? On crump somewhere. Fucking fraud. Gonna slip. Right. What next? Mushy fucking peas. Fucking gravy. All over the fucking chips and pudding and peas. Look at that. I'm sorry, but just look at the fucking state of that. With it, we're gonna fucking grab loads of chips. Smash that fucking pudding up. Rag some of that on it. Smash that. Steaking fucking kidney pudding, chips, peas and gravy, and half of it's on a fucking balm.
What in the heck?
Sometimes you cannot go wrong with a cheese and beans jacket potato. A bit more cheese on top, you know what I'm saying? But it doesn't look nice anymore. But anyways, just...
What is going on? What is going on?
This is my go-to order from the fish and chip shop. Pudding, chips, curry sauce, mushy peas, pickled onions and lashings of salt and vinegar with a can of Iron Brew. What is your go-to order when you go to the chippy?
No, because it's getting out of hand now. Is anybody worried about their health?
Dinner with Tubbs. So I've got some Alpha Bites, a little bit of salt on there, a bit of grated cheese, some mushy peas.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
We've got a big fat Chinese, so plate it up with liver, a little bit soggy. It's falling. No, don't. Rather than chunks. A bit of salt.
Have you ever tried a prawn and mayonnaise sandwich? This is a classic British sandwich that my sister loves, so I made it for her pack lunch. It's really simple. You just add salt and pepper. It looks plain, but this is how they sell it in the supermarket.
People from the UK, you had one chance to step up and prove that your food was an absolute trash, and y'all let Keith Lee go to London and eat their brickle-bracko and fizzy wickets, my mother's brickle-bracko fizzy wickets, and the gravy. Gravy. Keith Lee is in London right now, and his review of English breakfast food just fucking floored me.
I'm gonna eat the beans just bottom tails because it's just beans. I'm gonna put the beans on the toast. Beans on toast. The tomatoes kind of taste like they were based in ketchup, mushy. In my opinion, there's no flavor other than like I said, a sweet ketchup. No salt, no seasoning. 1 out of 10. Just try it. Open-minded. Immediately tastes like blood. It tastes like iron. I understand that's a thing that people enjoy, and it's an acquired taste, or it could be an acquired taste. I haven't acquired that taste.
Keith, my boy, if you see this, stay away from English food. Eat Caribbean food, eat African food, eat Asian food. London has some of the best versions of that. Go to Dishoom. Dishoom is an amazing place. There's a lot of places you can go to. Stay away from actual English food. Stay away. Stay away. There's nothing funnier to me today online than seeing the Brickle Brackle Fizzy Wicket Brigade crashing out over Keith Lee's review of their food and the fact that Americans don't like their food. You already know, Black Brits are already on a very short leash with me. And Black British food is amazing. It's Caribbean and African food, so sit this one out. This video just pissed me the fuck off, and I'm not letting up on British people because they consistently come online and talk about Americans unsolicited, unprovoked, when I realized a couple of years ago they have no fucking idea what they're talking about when it comes to America.
Through no fault of their own, mainly just due to the government's lack of funding and any sort of high quality and quality assurance of food, the fact that they let any random preservative, there's no fault of the American people. But I think because for decades and decades and decades and decades, they haven't had just baseline, fresh, organic, like good quality food. They've had to oversalt, overseason, over-preserve everything to the degree that they can't actually taste the base ingredient.
Hold, please.
I'm so tired, child. I'm so tired. I'm really.
Anyone says, oh, you just don't like seasonal food. I'm West Indian. I grew up eating West Indian food. I cook West Indian food myself. I understand is that sometimes the freshness of the food can carry a day. Even in the Caribbean where people like to season their food, if you have, say, fresh fish, you do a little salt, a little lemon juice, a little seasoning, a little herb.
The Caribbean you're talking about must be a town in England because you can't be talking about this Caribbean cooking fish.
Make Trinity-style stew fish. Scale, clean, and rinse fish with the juice of a lemon. Season and marinate fish with flour, shaking off any excess and put aside. Save the marinade. Heat oil, add brown sugar. Allow it to bubble, froth, expand, and darken. Add ketchup, green seasoning, craft. More hot pepper and garlic. Add fried.
Just like the day that I met you, the day I thought forever, said that you remember every time.
Wagwan, let's make some escovitch fish. Wash and clean your fish with vinegar or lime in your seasonings. Season up your fish and get in between. I added some green tea, garlic, and scotch bonnet. After frying, place 3 to 5 more minutes. Place your veggies in the vinegar water on top.
What was she saying? Keith Lee is going to be a lot of Americans' insight into British, because a lot of them will never actually come here and try British foods or try a lot of the ethnic foods that exist in the UK due to...
Most common and most lucrative flights from America to Europe are the JFK to London pipeline, meaning more Americans go to London than anywhere else in the world. Whatever immigration you have in the UK, we have triple the amount in America. Every single food that's available in the UK is available in America.
Americans, on the whole, aren't people who like food. They like the idea of food. They like the concept of food. They like the fullness that food gives them. But they don't actually like food.
Beans out of a Heinz can on soggy bread with butter is not a concept of food.
Yeah. You're a dreamer. You dream a lot in your sleep.
No, not really. I know.
Yes, you do.
No,
yes, you.
I think the funniest thing about British people is they feel they have the right to come online and call Americans dumb, call Americans uncultured, say America has no real history, say we have no authentic food, say that Americans don't know anything about the world. But the second that American has an opinion about the UK or British food or British culture, oh, you lot are doing too much, you guys are crazy, and they're in an uproar. They can't stomach the fact that they consume us, they watch us, we are the center of their attention, their media. It's not the other way around. So finally, we're connected on TikTok, and you think Americans is gonna stand by while you guys chat shit? While you pour fucking gravy on everything because your food has no seasoning? You look dumb. Stop talking about Americans, guys, because you're not gonna win this one.
British people fighting for their life right now with Keith Lee. They sending that man all around the country for a good breakfast meal. You can go anywhere in the U.S. and find you a good breakfast spot. You could drive down any street and find Pablo in the back hooking up skillets. They gave that man a bubble squeak and 2 fizzle dicks and wiki wax. Overloaded that man plate with beans and mushrooms and told us it was a gourmet deal. Oh shit!
To be honest, I feel like we need, I'm gonna have to do another compilation of what I saw with British food. Now, I'm not in any position to judge. Why are they even crashing down? Because they are saying, oh, you know, you went to a wrong restaurant, or you need to go here. Why do I have to move to specific locations to find real food if you say your food is as good as you say? Why do I have to go to specific places, right? Like, it's so hard to find good food on every corner, right? I don't know how it is like in America, but I am assuming at least you can be able to find some good food after every corner here and there, you know? And they are literally crashing down. I'm like, what is that? But also, I don't know, do they realize that, you know, he is not saying anything bad about Caribbean food? Because I'm gonna bring you the Caribbean food review that he did, and you'll be able to see that for yourself. It's literally the opposite of what he said about British food. It's not because he hates them, that's the thing. And I think some of these people are really taking this personal. It's just food, right? And I think they have said enough, and I think it's time for America to pay back. And I don't think they can handle the criticism that they normally give to everybody else. They were so excited when, you know, US left TikTok for just a few hours. They thought they're never ever gonna come back. And they started talking trash and all of that. And I think the comeback is very, very loud. But he's not saying anything weird about the food. He's just talking about the seasoning. And lots of these people that are saying, oh, you know, Americans are so used to eating sugary stuff, what, you know, like, seasoning is seasoning anywhere you go. Seasoning is seasoning. Do not say that they are used to eating foods that have preservatives, right? I feel like even in the UK, there are foods that do have preservatives, right? But you can still make, they can give you lemon and you make a lemonade out of it. But it looks like from what they have, it's not really that fresh taste that they're talking about. And I come from here, and we don't do so much, my country specifically, we don't do so much seasoning. But trust me, when you eat our food, you will be like, I wish I could find this in America. So, I don't think it's all about, you know, Americans wanting to eat sweet things. When they eat Caribbean food, it's not because it has sweet things, it doesn't. But they don't say the same thing about, you know, British food. Like, whatever that the argument they're making is just based on other people's foods, not the British food. And you hear even when they're trying to talk about immigration and all of that, people be like, what would be British food? It's not just Americans that are criticizing your food. Even people that live in the UK, they know that as soon as other people take their seasoning, there's nothing good here. And for the black sisters that are even crushing, you know the truth. You just don't want to accept it. But anywho, what do you my people think? Have you ever tasted British food? And what was it like? Put your thoughts in the comment section, and please subscribe to the channel if you have not. I'll definitely see you in another amazing video. Until then, my name is Gracie and I love you. Bye.